And Mr. Bingley favoured Jane above every other girl. For he danced the first two with her, and then the next with Charlotte Lucas, which vexed me greatly. But lo, there in the very next, nothing would please him but to stand up with Jane again. And then, you know, he danced with Lizzie. And then, what do you think he did next?
Enough, madam. For God's sake, let's hear no more of his partners. Woody had sprained his ankle in the first dance.
Oh, and his sisters. Oh, such charming women, so elegant and obliging. Oh, I wish you had seen them. I dare say the lace on Mrs. Hurst's gown alone.
No lace, Mrs. Bennet, I beg you.
And so none of the Hertfordshire ladies could please you, Mr. Darcy?
Not even famous Miss Bennet?
Well, I never met with pleasanter people or prettier girls in my life.
Bingley, you astonish me. I saw little beauty and no breeding at all. The eldest Miss Bennet is, I grant you, very pretty.
A fine concession. Come, man, admit it. She's an angel.
She smiles too much.
Oh, Jane Bennet is a sweet girl. The mother... I heard Eliza Bennet described as a famous local beauty. What do you say to that, Mr. Darcy?
I should as soon call her mother a wit.
You shall not make me think ill of Miss Bennet, Darcy.
Indeed he shall not. I shall dare his disapproval and declare she is a dear sweet girl, despite her unfortunate relations, and I should not be sorry to know her better.
No, nor I.
I believe I should be happy to live in the country forever. Wouldn't you, Darcy?
You would? You don't find the society somewhat confined and unvarying for your taste?
Confined? And unvarying, indeed it is not, sir. The country is a vast deal pleasanter than town, whatever you may say about it.
Mamma, you mistake Mr. Darcy's meaning.
Do I? He seems to think the country nothing at all.
Mamma.
Confined, unvarying. I would have him know we dine with 24 families.
Have you seen Charlotte Lucas since I came away?
Yes, she called yesterday with Sir William. What an agreeable man he is. That is my idea of good breeding. And those persons who fancy themselves very important and never open their mouths quite mistake the matter.
Mr. Bingley, did you not promise to give a ball at Netherfield as soon as you were settled here? It will be a great scandal if you don't keep your word.
I'm perfectly ready to keep my engagement. And when your sister has recovered, you shall name the day of the ball, if you please.
Oh, there now, Lydia, that's a fair promise for you. That's generosity for you. That's what I call gentlemanly behaviour.
Shall we not have some music? I have a great desire for a song. Caroline, can we persuade you? Miss Mary Bennet. See, you've anticipated me.
Delighted us long enough. Let the other young ladies have time to exhibit.
Mr. Collins is such a sensible, respectable young man, and he's taken quite a fancy to Lizzie, and I don't think he could find a better wife. He favoured Jane at first, but Bingley was there before him. Now there will be a great marriage. And of course, that will throw the girls into the path of other rich men.
Lord Denny, fetch me a glass of wine. I can scarce draw breath. I'm so fat.
I understand Mr. Collins has made you an offer of marriage. It is true?
Yes, sir.
Very well. And this offer of marriage you have refused?
I have.
I see. Right, well, we now come to the point. Your mother insists on your accepting it. Is it not so, Mrs. Bennet?
Yes. Or I will never see her again.
An unhappy alternative is before you, Elizabeth. From this day, you must be a stranger to one of your parents. Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. And I will never see you again if you do.
Oh, Mr. Bennet!
The relative situation of our families is such that any alliance between us must be regarded as a highly reprehensible connection. Indeed, as a rational man, I cannot but regard it as such myself, but it cannot be helped. Almost from the earliest moments of our acquaintance, I have come to feel for you a passionate admiration and regard, which, despite all my struggles, has overcome every rational objection, and I beg you most fervently to relieve my suffering and consent to be my wife.
In such cases as these, I believe the established mode is to express a sense of obligation. But I cannot.
And this is all the reply I am to expect. I might wonder why, with so little effort at civility, I am rejected.
And I might wonder why, with so evident a desire to offend and insult me, you chose to tell me that you like me against your will, against your reason, and even against your character. Was this not some excuse for incivility if I was uncivil?
But perhaps these offences might have been overlooked, had not your pride been hurt by the honest confession of the scruples which had long prevented my forming any serious design on you. Had I concealed my struggles and flattered you. But disguise of every sort is my abhorrence. Nor am I ashamed of the feelings I related. They were natural and just. Could you expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your connections? To congratulate myself on the hope of relations whose condition in life is so decidedly below my own?
As to my objections to the marriage, the situation of your family, though objectionable, was nothing in comparison with the total want of propriety so frequently betrayed by your mother, your younger sisters, and even occasionally your father.
That will do extremely well, child. You have delighted us long enough.
Now there will be a great marriage. And you know that will throw the girls into the path of other rich men.
She wrote a note for Mrs. Forster before she went away.
I am going to Gretna Green, and if you cannot guess with whom, I shall think you a simpleton, for there is but one man in the world I love. Don't send them word at Longbourn of my going. It will make the surprise all the greater when I write to them and sign my name Lydia Wickham. What a good joke it will be. I can scarcely write for laughing.
Thoughtless, Lydia. What a letter to have written at such a moment.
Jane, do you not see that more things have been ruined by this business than Lydia's reputation?
I've been thinking about what you said this afternoon. That it is not only Lydia's reputation that has been ruined. You meant, I suppose, that you and I, and Mary and Kitty, have been tainted by association. That our chances of making a good marriage have been materially damaged by Lydia's disgrace.
The chances of any of us making a good marriage were never very great. Now I should say they're non-existent. No one will solicit our society after this. Mr. Darcy made that very clear to me. All I know is that now he or any other respectable man will want nothing to do with any of us.